The Vesh aliens had strict rules for meeting new species. For 3,000 years, no language had confused their special brain computers. The Vesh were the best translators in the galaxy. Captain Do-Yun Kim stood on the bridge of the Earthship Horizon. He tried to stay calm as the huge alien ship appeared on the screen. His small ship had been stopped at what humans thought was empty space. They now learned this area belonged to a very old group of alien worlds. All systems working well. "Our message system is ready," said Science Officer Jiwoo Park. She pressed buttons on her control panel, getting their word lists ready for the meeting. The crew members looked at each other with worry. Humans had always wanted to meet aliens, but now that it was happening, everyone felt scared and excited. "We are getting a message," said Communications Officer Taiho Sung. He spoke calmly, but his body was stiff with tension. The screen showed 3 Vesh aliens. They looked like tall, thin humans with skin that changed colors like rainbow oil in water. Their heads were see-through, showing a glowing web inside their brains. This was their living translation computer. "This is Captain Do-Yun Kim from Earth. We come in peace and want to be friends," Do-Yun said clearly. He followed the words they had practiced for first contact. The middle Vesh's brain lit up as it processed Do-Yun's words. Then it spoke in perfect Korean, even though Do-Yun had only said a few sentences. "Hello, humans from Earth. I am High Interpreter Vex Nal of the Galactic Council. You are in our space. We will take you to Station Alpha to decide if you can join our group." Do-Hyun nodded with respect. "We are thankful for your welcome and will follow your instructions." The screen went dark. Everyone on the bridge started talking at once. "They spoke Korean," said Security Chief Min-ji Hwang in surprise. "How did they learn our language so fast?" "Their brain computers must be amazing," said Jiwoo, her eyes wide with wonder. "They learned our language from just a few words." Do-Hyun held up his hand for quiet. "Let's not get too excited. They're taking us to their station to check us out. Our job now is to show them that humans are smart and respectful." He smiled a little and added, "And we should be careful not to say anything that might confuse their translation system." The horizon followed the Vesh ship. Through the windows, the crew saw stars they had never seen before. After 2 hours, a large space station came into view. It looked like a giant metal snowflake with 12 points, each one as big as a city. "It's beautiful," whispered Jiwoo as they got closer. The Vesh ship guided them to a docking area. With a soft bump and hiss of air, the horizon connected to the alien station. "Time to prepare the welcome team," said Do-Hyun. "Jiwoo, Taiho, Minji, you're with me. We need to show our best face to these aliens." In the ship's meeting room, the team put on their formal blue uniforms with the Earth symbol, a circle showing their home planet. "Remember your training," said Do-Hyun. "Speak clearly, be polite, don't use slang or jokes. We want them to understand us perfectly." Minji checked her tablet. "According to our scans, the air on the station is safe for us to breathe. No dangerous germs detected." Taiho looked nervous. "What if we say something wrong? What if we start a war by accident?" Do-Hyun put his hand on Taiho's shoulder. "That's why we stick to simple, clear words. Just state facts. Leave out feelings in colorful language." The team walked to the airlock. As the door opened, they saw 3 Vesh waiting for them. Up close, the aliens were even stranger. Their skin rippled with blues and greens. Their heads glowed with the pulsing webs inside. "Welcome to Processing Station Alpha," said the middle Vesh. Its voice was soft and musical. "I am Junior Interpreter Kem Lor. I will help you communicate with the Council." Do-Hyun bowed slightly. "Thank you for your welcome. We are honored to be here." The aliens led them through shining hallways. The walls were made of a clear material that seemed to change color as they walked. Other alien species passed by, some with 4 arms, others floating on air cushions, some covered in fur or scales. They entered a large round room where dozens of different aliens gathered. Some looked almost human. Others were so strange the Earth team couldn't tell their front from their back. "These are representatives from the 57 worlds of the Galactic Council," explained Kem Lor. "They are curious about your species. Humans have never been seen in this part of space before." A tall blue alien approached them. It had 4 eyes and moved like flowing water. "This is High Counselor Ziv of the Mora people," said Kemlor. The Vesh's brainweb glowed brighter as it translated. The blue alien spoke in a bubbly voice. The Vesh translated, "How did your small world develop space travel without being discovered by our scouts?" Do-hyun smiled. "Earth is in a quiet part of space. We only recently built ships that can travel long distances. More aliens came to meet them, asking questions about Earth, humans, and their technology. The Vesh translators worked perfectly, their brainwebs pulsing with each new language. After an hour, Kemlor took them to a private room with food and drinks. "You will rest here. Tomorrow, the council will begin formal talks with your species." When the aliens left, Minji let out a long breath. "That was intense, so many different beings." "The translation was perfect," said Taiho, sounding impressed. "They understood everything we said." Jiwoo was looking at her scanner. "Their brainwebs are amazing. They're like living computers, but more advanced than anything we've built." Do-hyun sat down thinking. "We need to be careful. Perfect translation means they'll know exactly what we mean. No room for mistakes." "What happens tomorrow?" asked Taiho. "They decide if humans are worth talking to," said Do-hyun. "If we pass their test, Earth might join their council. If we fail—" He didn't finish the sentence. That night, as the others slept, Do-hyun stood at the window looking at the strange stars. Humans had always used colorful words and strange sayings. Would these perfect translators understand the way humans really talked? Or would something get lost or worse? He didn't know that the next day a simple human phrase would cause more trouble than anyone could imagine. The next morning, the Earth team met in their room to plan for the big meeting. "Today is important," said Captain Do-hyun. "The council will decide if humans can join their group." Chief Diplomat Yuna Song had joined them from Earth's main ship. She wore a neat blue uniform and had a serious face. "I studied the information we got yesterday," she said. "The Galactic Council has 57 different alien species. They share technology, protect each other, and follow the same rules." "What do they want from us?" asked Minji. "They want to know if humans are peaceful," said Yuna. "And if we have anything useful to share?" Taiho looked worried. "What if they think we're too primitive?" "We have things they might want," said Jiwoo. "Our music, art, and some of our technology are different from theirs." Do-hyun nodded. "Remember, to speak simply and clearly. No Earth sayings or jokes. We don't want to confuse the translators." At exactly 9 station time, a soft chime sounded at their door. Outside stood Kemlor, the Vesh translator, and 2 other aliens. One looked like a tall bird with bright feathers. The other was short with 6 arms and scaly skin. "The council is ready for you," said Kemlor. They followed the aliens through more shining hallways. The station was huge, with gardens, water pools, and many rooms. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved around, doing their daily work. The meeting room was large and round with a raised platform in the middle. Seats circled the room in rows going up like a bowl. Many aliens sat waiting. Some looked almost human. Others were very strange. Balls of light, creatures like walking plants, and things the humans couldn't even describe. "Please stand on the center platform," said Kemlor. The Earth team walked to the middle of the room. Every alien eye was on them. A tall Vesh with richly colored skin stood up. "I am High Counselor Vek Dole. We welcome the humans of Earth to this formal meeting." Kemlor's brainweb glowed as it translated every word. Vek Dole spoke in a musical language, but the humans heard perfect Korean. Yuna stepped forward. "Thank you for your welcome. Earth is honored to meet the Galactic Council. We hope to learn from you and share what we know." Vek Dole nodded. "Tell us about Earth. How many people? What technology? Why do you explore space?" For an hour, the Earth team answered questions. They explained Earth's 7 billion people, their spaceships, their history, and their hopes. The Vesh translators worked perfectly, changing every language into every other language. Then a bird-like alien with gold feathers asked, "How do humans make decisions as a group? Do you have one ruler?" Yuna explained Earth's different countries and governments. This seems inefficient, said the bird alien. How do you get anything done with so many different leaders? Taiho spoke up without thinking. We just put our heads together and work it out. Kemlor's brainweb flickered strangely. The pattern of light inside its clear head changed, showing confusion. Clarification needed, it said. You physically connect your craniums? Taiho looked embarrassed. No, it's just a saying. It means we discuss and find solutions together. The Vesh seemed to accept this, but Dohyun noticed a small dark spot in Kemlor's brainweb, like a bruise. Next, a floating ball of blue light asked, What makes humans different from other species you know on your planet? Jiwoo answered, Humans can think about the future, create art, and use complex language. We're curious about everything. Minji added, and we never give up. When something is hard, we keep trying until we crack it. At the words crack it, Kemlor's brainweb flickered again. The dark spot grew a little larger. Clarification required, said Kemlor. What do you break when facing difficulties? Nothing, said Minji quickly. It's just an expression. It means we solve the problem. Vekdal looked at the troubled translator with concern. Perhaps we should take a short break. The human language seems to be creating some translation difficulties. In a small side room, the Earth team gathered. What's happening? Asked Yuna. The translator seems confused. I think our expressions are causing problems, said Dohyun. When Taiho talked about putting heads together, and Minji mentioned cracking a problem, the translator tried to make literal sense of it. But those are such common sayings, said Taiho. To us, said Jiwoo. But think about it. If someone said they cracked a problem, and you didn't know it was a saying, you might think they actually broke something. From now on, no expressions at all, said Dohyun firmly. Say exactly what you mean in the simplest words. When they returned to the meeting room, Vekdul asked, How do humans wish to interact with the Galactic Council? Yuna gave a careful answer. We hope to learn from your science and share our knowledge. We want to trade resources and build friendship between our worlds. Very good, said Vekdul. The council will now discuss privately. Please wait in the side room. As they left, a small alien with green skin and huge eyes approached them. It spoke through Kemlor. I am Ziv of the Mura people. I find humans interesting. Your brain patterns show unusual creativity. Thank you, said Jiwoo. We value creative thinking. This may be why your language creates difficulties for the Vesh, said Ziv. You speak in ways that are not logical. Before they could answer, Vekdul returned. The council has reached a first decision. Humans will be granted visitor status. You may stay on the station for 10 days to learn our ways. That's good news, said Dohyun. We are grateful. As they walked back to their rooms, Dohyun felt worried. The Vesh translators were having trouble with simple human expressions. What would happen when they heard more complex human speech? He didn't know that the real trouble was just beginning. 3 days passed. The Earth team learned many things about the Galactic Council. They visited labs, gardens, and meeting rooms. They met aliens from 20 different worlds. Jiwoo spent most of her time in the Science Center. She was excited to learn about space travel methods she had never seen before. Their ships can jump through space 10 times faster than ours, she told Dohyun during their evening meeting. And they have medicine that can fix almost any injury. Taeho had been studying the station's communication systems. The whole station runs on a network connected to the Vesh translators. Every message, every computer screen, every announcement, it all goes through their brain webs. That's impressive, said Yuna. But it means if something goes wrong with the translators, the whole station could have problems. Dohyun nodded. I've noticed more translation issues. Yesterday, when I told an alien it was nice to meet them, the translator asked if the meeting was causing me physical pleasure. Minji laughed. When I was in the exercise room, I told someone I needed to catch my breath. The translator thought I was chasing something that had escaped from my lungs. This isn't funny, said Dohyun. I've seen those dark spots in the translator's brainwebs getting bigger. I think our language is hurting them somehow. The next morning, Do-hyun and Ji-woo were invited to visit the translator center. It was a large round room where 20 Vesh sat in special chairs. Their brainwebs glowed as they processed thousands of messages from all over the station. A senior Vesh named Nevsil greeted them. "Welcome to Central Translation. This is the heart of our communication network." "It's amazing," said Ji-woo. "How does it work?" Nevsil explained. "Our brains can learn any language in minutes. We connect to each other and share what we learn. Every Vesh knows every language in the galaxy." Do-hyun asked carefully, "Have you had any problems with human language?" Nevsil's colors changed slightly. "Your language has unusual features. Most species use words that mean exactly what they say. Humans often say things that are not literally true." "You mean like expressions and figures of speech?" asked Ji-woo. "Yes. When you say it's raining cats and dogs, our system tries to understand why small animals would fall from the sky." Do-hyun frowned. "That must be confusing for your translators." "We are adapting," said Nevsil, "but it requires significant processing power." Meanwhile, Yuna and Minji were meeting with the council's education committee. They were showing human history and culture to a group of alien teachers. "This is Earth music," said Yuna, playing a classical piece. A jellyfish-like alien waved its tentacles happily. "The sound patterns are pleasing. What do you call this style?" "This is a piano sonata," Yuna explained. The composer was trying to paint a picture of a moonlit night. The Vesh translator, a junior named Pexvor, suddenly froze. Its brainweb flickered wildly. "Error in translation," it said in a strange voice. "Humans cannot create visual images with sound. This statement contains a logical impossibility." One of the alien teachers, a tall, insect-like being, clicked its mandibles. "I think the human was using a metaphor. It means the music makes listeners imagine a moonlit night." Pexvor's brain web pulsed erratically. Metaphor analysis requires multiple processing layers. Attempting to resolve. Suddenly, Pexvor collapsed to the floor. Its brain web went dark, then flickered weakly. "Medical emergency," called Minji, rushing to help the fallen translator. Across the station, similar incidents were happening. The food hall. A Vesh collapsed when a human said they were starving after only missing one meal. In the garden, another Vesh had problems when a human talked about eating someone's words. By evening, 10 Vesh translators were in the medical center. The station was having communication problems. Screens showed wrong information. Doors opened to wrong places. Food dispensers gave out strange items. The Earth team gathered in their meeting room. They all looked worried. "It's getting worse," said Do-hyun. "Our language is overloading their translation system." Ji-woo had been studying the problem on her computer. "I think I understand what's happening. The Vesh brainweb works like a perfect math system. It expects every word to have one clear meaning. But human language isn't like that," said Taeho. "Our words can mean different things in different situations." "Exactly," said Ji-woo. "When we say something is cool, we might mean it's cold, or that it's good, or that we like it. The Vesh system tries to make sense of these multiple meanings and it creates errors." "We need to warn them," said Yuna. "They need to shut down their translation network before more Vesh get hurt." They tried to send a message to Vekdul, but the communication system was breaking down. Strange words appeared on screens. Room lights changed colors randomly. "We need to go to the council chamber in person," said Do-hyun. As they hurried through the hallways, they saw confusion everywhere. Aliens were gesturing wildly, unable to understand each other. Some looked angry, others scared. In the council chamber, they found Vekdul with several senior Vesh. Their brainwebs were darker than before, with large black spots spreading through the glowing patterns. "We came to help," said Do-hyun. "Your translation system is failing because of human language." Vekdul looked at them with pain in its large eyes. "We are aware of the problem, but we cannot shut down the system. Without translation, the 57 species cannot communicate. The council would fall apart." But your translators are being damaged, said Yuna. We are trying to adapt, said Vekdul. Our senior translators are creating filters to block the most problematic human expressions. Just then another Vesh rushed in. Emergency in central translation. The main network is showing cascading failures. Vekdul's colors paled. How bad? 30% of all translators are offline. The rest are showing severe stress patterns. Vekdul turned to the humans. We need your help. Your language created this problem. Perhaps your knowledge can solve it. Do-hyun looked at his team. We'll do everything we can, but first you need to understand something important about humans. What is that? Asked Vekdul. We never say exactly what we mean, said Do-hyun, and that might be your biggest problem. Alarms rang throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Aliens rushed in all directions, making scared noises in their own languages. In the main control room, the Earth team gathered with Vekdul and the few Vesh translators still working. Screens on the wall showed parts of the station turning dark as systems failed. The situation is very bad, said Vekdul. Its skin had turned a dull gray color. 40% of our translators are now sick or shut down. Another 30% are showing damage signs. What happens if all the translators stop working? Asked Do-hyun. Chaos, said Vekdul simply. The 57 species of the Council cannot talk to each other without us. Some species can only communicate through sound. Others use light patterns or smell or touch. Without translation, they cannot understand each other at all. Jiwoo was looking at data on a screen. The translation system is connected to everything on the station. Doors, lights, food, air, water. If it fails completely, the station itself could stop working. Could people die? Asked Minji, her face pale. Yes, said Vekdul. If life support systems fail, many would die. Some species need special air or special temperatures to live. Do-hyun turned to his team. We need to fix this now. Jiwoo, you understand their system best. What can we do? Jiwoo thought hard. The problem is that their system tries to find one perfect translation for every word. But human language doesn't work that way. We need to teach their system to handle multiple meanings. Can we do that? Asked Taiho. Maybe, said Jiwoo. Earth has translation programs that aren't perfect, but can handle strange expressions. They don't try to understand every word exactly. They look for the most likely meaning based on context. Vekdul's colors brightened a little. You have such systems? Yes, said Jiwoo. They're not as good as your brain webs, but they're good at handling messy human language. Show us, said Vekdul. Jiwoo opened her computer and pulled up Earth's best translation program. See, when it translates between human languages, it doesn't try to understand every word perfectly. It makes its best guess based on patterns it has seen before. A Vesh translator with dark spots in its brain web looked at the screen. This is imperfect. It allows for errors. Yes, said Jiwoo, but that's actually its strength. Human language is full of exceptions and strange rules. Trying to be perfect makes your system crash when it hits something that doesn't make sense. Like when we say, it's raining cats and dogs, said Minji. At those words, 3 more Vesh translators collapsed, their brainwebs flashing wildly before going dark. Please, said Vekdul weakly. No more expressions. Do-hyun looked at the fallen translators with concern. We need to work fast. Can we connect our translation software to your system? A senior Vesh named Nevsil, who had dark patches spreading across its brainweb, stepped forward. It might be possible, but difficult. Our system is biological, not electronic. But you connect to the station's computers somehow, said Taiho. We could use that connection. Yes, said Nevsil. We have neural interfaces in central translation, but modifying our core system would be dangerous. More dangerous than total system failure? Asked Yuna. Vekdul's colors rippled. You are right, we have no choice. Just then, all the lights in the room flickered. Screens went blank, then showed random symbols. The central matrix is approaching critical failure, said a Vesh technician. Current status: 53% of all. Translation nodes offline. Take us to central translation, said Do-hyun. We need to work there directly. As they hurried through the station, they saw increasing signs of trouble. Doors opened and closed randomly. Food dispensers spat out weird combinations. Some sections were completely dark. Aliens huddled in groups, unable to talk to those from other species. Central translation was a mess. Half the Vesh translators lay unconscious, their brainwebs dark or flickering weakly. The others worked desperately, their once beautiful skin now pale and spotted with dark patches. We need to set up here, said Jiwoo, connecting her computer to a station terminal. Taiho, help me adapt our translation software to their interface. For 2 hours they worked frantically. Jiwoo and Taeho wrote new code to bridge Earth's translation programs with the Vesh biological system. Vekdul and Nevsil guided them through the complex Vesh neural network. It's like trying to connect a bicycle to a spaceship, said Taiho, rubbing his tired eyes. Our system is so much simpler than theirs. That's why it might work, said Jiwoo. Their system is too perfect. It can't handle messiness. Ours is built to deal with messy language. More alarms sounded. A voice announced, Life support systems, failing in sectors 7 through 12. Emergency protocols activated. We're running out of time, said Do-hyun. Jiwoo looked up from her screen. I think we're ready. This patch won't fix everything, but it might stop the system from crashing completely. What will it do? Asked Vekdul. When your translators hit a human expression they can't understand, instead of trying to find a perfect meaning, they'll switch to our probability-based system. It will give the most likely meaning without trying to be perfect. But there will be errors, said Nevsil, looking troubled. Yes, admitted Jiwoo. Some translations won't be exactly right, but your translators won't crash, and most meaning will get through. Vekdul turned to the few working Vesh translators. We must try this. Connect the human system to the central matrix. Nervously, Nevsil connected Jiwoo's computer to a glowing panel. The remaining Vesh translators gathered around, placing their hands on special pads. We will channel the new code through our network, explained Vekdul. It will either help or crash the whole system permanently, finished Nevsil grimly. Do-hyun looked at his team. We've done our best. Let's hope it works. Jiwoo took a deep breath and pressed the final key. Uploading now. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the screens in the room went black. The lights went out. In the sudden darkness, the Vesh translators' brainwebs glowed brightly, then pulsed in strange new patterns. Something's happening, whispered Minji. Slowly, the lights came back on. The screens flickered to life, showing normal station status reports. The Vesh translators stood very still, their brainwebs showing new patterns. The familiar glowing network now mixed with darker strands that pulsed in different rhythms. How do you feel? Do-hyun asked Vekdul nervously. Vekdul was silent for a long moment. When it spoke, its voice sounded slightly different, less perfect, with a small accent. The system is working differently. I can process human expressions now, but not perfectly. Try a human saying, suggested Taiho. It's raining cats and dogs, said Minji carefully. Vekdul's brainweb flickered, but stayed stable. I understand. This means heavy rain, not actual small animals falling from the sky. It paused. Before, I would have tried to understand how animals could fall like rain. Now I accept that the words mean something different together than they do separately. Nevsil touched its own head wonderingly. The human system adds flexibility. We lose some precision, but gain resilience. Slowly, across the station, systems began to return to normal. Doors worked again, lights came on, food dispensers gave out normal food. Most importantly, the Vesh translators who had collapsed began to wake up, their brainwebs showing the new mixed pattern. In the council chamber, Vekdul addressed the gathered representatives from all 57 species. We faced a serious crisis today, it said, Our perfect translation system was damaged by human language, which contains too many variables and contradictions for our logic. The aliens murmured in their various languages, all now being translated through the new hybrid system. But the humans fixed the problem, continued Vekdul. They showed us that sometimes being less perfect is actually better. Their translation system doesn't try to understand everything exactly. It accepts that language can be messy and still work. A tall, insect-like alien clicked its mandibles. Does this mean all our communications will now have errors? Some small errors, yes, admitted Vekdul. But the system won't crash when it encounters something strange. It will make its best guess and keep working. The blue jellyfish-like alien waved its tentacles. So we trade perfect understanding for a system that doesn't break down? Yes, said Vekdul, and perhaps that is a good trade. Perfect understanding is impossible between different species anyway. We are all too different. Doyun stepped forward. On Earth we have thousands of languages and cultures. We often misunderstand each other. But we keep talking, keep trying. Perfect communication isn't the goal. Understanding each other well enough to work together is what matters. Vekdul's colors rippled in what looked like agreement. The Council will vote now. Should humans be granted full membership in our alliance? The vote was quick and clear. All 57 species raised their hands, tentacles, claws, or light patterns in agreement. It is decided, said Vekdul. Earth is now the 58th member of the Galactic Council. As the Earth team celebrated, Vekdul approached Dohyun privately. There is one more thing you should know, it said quietly. Your language almost destroyed us, but it also made us better. Our new hybrid system is more flexible than our old perfect one. How so? Asked Dohyun. The old system could only translate what it fully understood. The new one can handle uncertainty and still function. In some ways, it is more like a human mind. Dohyun smiled. That's a high compliment. Yes, said Vekdul, though I must ask you one favor. What's that? Please tell your people to be careful with their expressions when talking to us. We are still getting used to the idea that words don't always mean exactly what they say. Dohyun nodded seriously. I promise we'll try, but honestly, you haven't heard anything yet. What do you mean? Asked Vekdul, its colors showing confusion. Wait until you hear human poetry, said Dohyun with a smile. That's when language really breaks all the rules. 2 weeks had passed since the translation crisis. The station was working normally again. The Vesh translators had all recovered, though their brainwebs now showed the new mixed pattern of light and dark strands. In a special ceremony room, Captain Dohyun and his team stood before the full Galactic Council. Today was Earth's official welcome as the newest member of the 58 Species Alliance. Vekdul, wearing formal robes with glowing symbols, addressed the gathering. Today we welcome humans to our great community of worlds. Though their arrival nearly broke our translation system, they also fixed it in a way we could not have imagined. The Earth team looked proud but humble. They wore their best uniforms with new council symbols next to the Earth patch. As is our tradition, new members must share a gift of knowledge with the Council, continued Vekdul. What does Earth offer? Dohyun stepped forward. Earth offers the gift of our language and literature. We have brought our greatest stories, poems, and songs to share with all species. Some of the alien representatives looked confused. The blue jellyfish alien's tentacles twisted in what seemed like worry. But your language almost destroyed the translation system. Is this a safe gift? Yuna smiled. That's why it's valuable. Our language shows a different way of thinking, one that doesn't always follow strict logic. It helped improve your translation system, and it might help in other ways too. Explain, said a tall crystal being whose body glittered with inner light. Jiwoo took over. Most of your species developed very precise languages. This makes your science and technology very advanced. But human language is full of multiple meanings, strange expressions, and creative connections. This makes us good at seeing new patterns and solving problems in unexpected ways. The crisis proved this, added Taiho. When your perfect system failed, our imperfect one saved it. Sometimes being a little messy is actually helpful. Vekdal's colors shifted in agreement. The Council accepts Earth's gift. Now, as another tradition, we offer a gift in return. What would humans like to receive from the Galactic Council? The Earth team had discussed this question for days. Do-hyun gave their answer. Earth asks for knowledge about sustainable energy and medicine. We want to heal our planet and our people. The council members nodded or made their species gestures of approval. Vekdal spoke again. A worthy request. The council will share these technologies. Now one final tradition remains. A large screen lit up on the wall showing a star map. A small blue dot blinked, representing Earth. Each member species is granted space in our galactic territory, explained Vekdal. Earth will have these 12 star systems as its domain. The map zoomed in, showing Earth's new territory. That's very generous, said Do-hyun, looking surprised. Earth thanks the council. After the ceremony, the Earth team had one day left on the station before returning home with the good news. They gathered in a garden area with Vekdal and representatives from several alien species who had become their friends. Ziv, the green alien with huge eyes, asked, "Will more humans come to the station soon?" "Yes," said Yuna. "We're sending teachers, scientists and diplomats. We have so much to learn from each other." Nevsil, the senior Vesh translator who had worked closely with them during the crisis, approached with a small device. "I have made something for you. A gift of thanks." The device was a small cube with glowing lines. "What is it?" asked Jiwoo. "Personal translator," said Nevsil. "It uses our new hybrid system. It will help the next humans who come to the station, and it will help us continue to learn your fascinating language." "Thank you," said Jiwoo, carefully taking the cube. "We'll treasure it." "I have a question," said the bird-like alien with gold feathers. "Your language has many expressions that make no sense, like, 'It's raining cats and dogs.' How did such strange sayings begin?" Minji laughed. "Many of our expressions come from old stories or from how things looked to people long ago. That one might come from times when big storms would wash dead animals into the streets." The bird alien ruffled its feathers. "That is disturbing, but interesting. Human language is full of history," said Taiho. "Our words carry the stories of our past. That's why they're so complicated." Vekdal's colors shifted thoughtfully. "Perhaps that is why your translation system works differently than ours. Your words must consider context and history, not just current meaning." "Exactly," said Do-hyun. "And we've learned that your way of perfect precision has benefits too. Both approaches have value." That evening at their goodbye dinner, aliens from many species came to wish the humans well. The mood was happy, with good food and drink from many worlds. As the party continued, Do-hyun found himself standing with Vekdal at a window, looking out at the stars. "Your team has changed the council," said Vekdal quietly. "In just 2 weeks you solved a problem we didn't even know we had." "What problem was that?" asked Do-hyun. "Perfect understanding," said Vekdal. "For 3,000 years we believed that perfect translation was the key to peace between species. But perfect translation is impossible. Different minds will always understand things differently." "So what's the answer?" asked Do-hyun. "Flexibility. Accepting that different viewpoints can all be valid. Your messy language forced our system to become more flexible. Now many of our scientists are asking what other systems might benefit from more flexibility and less perfect precision." Do-hyun smiled. "On Earth we have a saying that seems right for this moment." Vekdal's brainweb flickered with new interest. "What is it?" "In our weakness lies our strength." Our messy language seemed like a problem, but it turned out to be a gift. "I like that saying," said Vekdal. Its brainweb processed the expression smoothly, with no signs of distress. It carries truth. The next morning, as the Earth team prepared to board the Horizon for the journey home, the station's main hall was filled with aliens coming to say goodbye. Nevsil approached Jiwoo with a data crystal. "I have prepared teaching materials about our 58 languages for your language experts on Earth. Thank you, said Jiwoo. And I've prepared materials on human languages for you, including poetry which will really test your new system. Nevsil's colors changed in what looked like amusement. We are ready for the challenge. As they made their final goodbyes, Vekdal presented Dohyun with a small symbol, a metal pin showing the council's star pattern with Earth's position marked by a blue stone. You are now our ambassador, said Vekdul. When you return to Earth, tell your people they have friends among the stars. I will, promised Dohyun, and I'll try to prepare them for meeting all of you. It's going to be quite a shock. Good. Shock or bad shock? Asked Vekdul, its brainweb showing a small flicker of confusion at the expression. Good shock, said Dohyun with a smile. Like finding out you're not alone when you thought you were. As the Earth team boarded their ship, Dohyun looked back at the gathered aliens. So different in shape, size, and color, yet now connected to humanity through understanding and respect. The Horizon undocked smoothly and moved away from the station. On the bridge, the team watched as the massive structure grew smaller on their screens. Hard to believe so much happened in just 2 weeks, said Minji. First contact, a major crisis, and now we're part of a galactic community. All because our messy human language crashed their perfect translation system, said Taiho with a laugh, and then fixed it, added Yuna. That's the important part. Jiwoo was already studying the data crystal from Nevsil. The amount of knowledge they're sharing with us is amazing. Earth science is going to advance hundreds of years overnight. Dohyun sat in the captain's chair, looking at the star map showing their route home. Earth seemed different now. Not just a lonely planet, but part of something much bigger. We have a lot of work ahead, he said. Preparing Earth to join the galactic community won't be easy. Some people will be scared, others won't believe us at all, but we have proof, said Minji, pointing to the cube translator and other alien devices they were bringing home. And we have a good story to tell, said Taiho. About how human weirdness saved the day. Dohyun nodded. That's what I'll focus on when we report back. How being human, with all our messy language and strange expressions, turned out to be exactly what the galaxy needed. As the Horizon jumped to faster-than-light speed, heading for Earth with its world-changing news, Dohyun thought about how a single human phrase had crashed the alien translation matrix. But instead of causing lasting harm, it had opened the door to a new understanding between very different minds. Sometimes, he thought, the best way to connect with others isn't through perfect communication, but through the creative mistakes that show how differently we see the world. And in those differences we find our greatest strength. On Earth, no one yet knew that humanity had joined the stars. No one knew that their everyday expressions had almost caused a galactic disaster. And no one knew that the very strangeness of human language had proven to be humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy. They would learn soon enough, and the universe would never be the same.